1,084,170 words, 3,407 pages, 199 chapters, 7 books, 8 feature films, 2 main attractions, and 1 woman's sole idea. We will be going through of how a rejected book series became a global hit, of how one woman's thought made her a billionaire, and most importantly, how the Harry Potter phenomenon came to be. What do you think about the whole Harry Potter series?
Actually, I love the Harry Potter series. It's one of my favourites. I've got all the books in hardback and paperback. I've got them on my Kindle. I've got the films on Blu-ray. I'm a big fan.
I think it's pretty good because it's something unique and that you don't see happen all the time. Like in most films, they're quite repetitive.
I think that the whole Harry Potter series are really interesting, really real, really good, and even though they include fantasy characters, they're very real and each one has a different story, which is great.
How do you think the series attracted millions of people around the globe?
I think J.K. Rowling's series attracted lots of people because it's such a diverse world with so many stories and so many kind of lore that branches out of it, so I think that's why a lot of people like it, to be honest.
I think that the series attracted millions as it was a worldwide phenomenon and the movies were very popular worldwide.
I think the series attracted loads of people because it's a fantasy and it's like something you don't see very often. It's got like magic and stuff like that, so it's pretty cool.
Joanne grew up surrounded by books as her mum and dad loved reading them. When she was young, J.K. always wanted to be a writer. Then sometime in the future, the idea of a Harry Potter came up in J.K. Rowling's head when she was on a delayed train from Manchester to London. Throughout the next 5 years, she began to plan out the 7 books of the series. She amassed a mountain of notes, many of which were on scraps of paper. J.K. Rowling even wrote the last chapter of Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows before she started to write the first book, The Philosopher's Stone. She even wrote in local coffee shops, like for example the Elephant House in Edinburgh. People who go there have written their love for Harry Potter on the bathroom walls. Exactly how did you get to know Harry Potter?
Well, when I was a young kid, my parents made me watch the first film, and then I got into the series and liked quite a lot of it, so I continued watching them.
Well, as a child, my parents used to buy me the films, so that's how I kind of got introduced to it. But as I got older, I read some of the books as well, so that's how I kind of got introduced.
I got to know Harry Potter a bit more from watching the series and all the different movies, and yeah.
Has the series had an impact on your reading habits?
Possibly not for me. I like to read a long series of books. The more numbers of books in it, the better. So actually for me it fits in really well with the sort of reading that I like to do.
Yes, I'd say the series has had an impact because it helped me, it was one of the first books I've ever read and it kind of helped me along the way because I struggled with dyslexia, so that's how it kind of helped.
But when the publishing process came up for the first book, things were seeming to go down for the Harry Potter books. The first book got rejected for many reasons. For example, the book started too slow and the characters didn't seem to be likable. But when the small and new publisher Bloomsbury was launched, J.K. Rowling came to them and they published The Philosopher's Stone for about £2,500. The first book, and along with the other 6 books, they dazzled millions of people in the UK and around the world.
The first Harry Potter book, which was The Philosopher's Stone, was published by Bloomsbury in June of 1997. J.K. Rowling sent the first 3 chapters of her book to various agents and publishing houses. Bloomsbury initially rejected the book because they didn't actually print children's books, and also they thought it was too long, which also another lot of agents also thought it was too long for a children's book. A man called Barry Cunningham, who worked for publishing house Bloomsbury, said this is a very good book, and they said we think we should print it. Also, the deputy editor's daughter, who was 8 years old, also read the first 3 chapters and she absolutely loved it.
People started to really get attached to the Harry Potter books. Then, in 1999, Warner Brothers bought the film rights to the first book. The casting process began with thousands of people from around the UK and Ireland, because J.K. Rowling insisted that the cast should be British or Irish. Then, when the casting was complete, the filming for the first movie began to be shot in Leavesden Film Studios and historic buildings around the UK. When the film was released in November 2001, it made over $900 million at the box office. Do you think that you'll still read and watch Harry Potter in the future?
Yeah, I definitely think if a new film came out, I would be interested in seeing it, to be honest.
Yeah, I think I'll still watch them, probably not read them because I don't really have time to read it, but I'll continue watching it because I think the series is pretty good and the story is really good.
Oh, most definitely. I've read the books many times already. I know they've been out quite a long time, and there's also another film coming out soon for all of us fans to get our teeth into. But yes, I'll definitely read them again.
Over the past decade, the filming continued for 10 more years and 8 movies were made that made over $7 billion altogether at the worldwide box office. Throughout those years, friendships were built that could never be broken.
You're laughing because you hit me so hard, aren't you? Okay.
Memorable days were created that would never be forgotten.
We kind of snuck into the studios when it was dark. We filmed on that little camera, actually.
Pretty good.
Essentially Dan against a blue screen.
And above all else, the magic that was born from the start will never end.
Lumos Maxima!